What is up, everybody? This is Escape211 again with a Mech Arena video. Today we're going to talk about Lancer. Lancer is a small mech, but one of the fastest, if not the fastest, in the game. I think his base speed is probably faster than anybody, considering certain abilities. A couple might be quicker, but I think he is the fastest. He's certainly the most mobile, because he has a jump jet ability. No one else in the game has this. I don't know if they ever plan to add it to someone else. Panther would be a cool one, or maybe some new mech. But overall, yeah, he is the most mobile and the only one who can really get up into some interesting positions and, you know, add to the battle from above. His jump jet ability gets him about, you know, to an obstacle about halfway up. You know, if you have like certain multiple layers, it's kind of like you have to get a couple, 2 or 3 hops to get all the way up to the top spots on the map sometimes. But his jump jet recovers really quickly, only a couple seconds, so it doesn't take that long to get in position. But overall, yeah, he's really good at that. The problem is that he has low health and his energy is not that great either. Both of these things make him really just the early game style of mech. So right in the beginning of the match, you're going to want to use him for capping points, harassing the enemy, and doing some minor hit and run attacks and stuff like that. He's not really going to last you very long in a given match, and he's not really designed for that. But he's, you know, that early game element where you want to cap points quickly or try to get that center cap point and then help defend it a little bit with your teammates and stuff is really the goal of this guy. So that's what you want to do. He does have some ways that he can survive, like using stingers or some good maneuverability. I've had instances where I'm like mid to long range away from enemies that use rockets or some machine guns, and you can avoid fire at that distance, but it still takes you a long time to kill most mechs. So even doing that, you know, I fought, I think it was a Juggernaut doing that, and I don't know if it was the guy's aim or my ability to move, but he was not able to hit me too well, and I killed him, but it took quite a while. And ultimately, you don't want to do that just because it takes a lot of time away from the match when you could be switching to a different mech and probably making a bigger difference in the battle. So ultimately, like I said, just that early game element is what he does best. As far as what weapons to put on him, I would say mid-range weapons work well. Right now I have Pac-Lans on him. Pac-Lans work well with so many robots, so it's kind of a default. If you have them, definitely use them no matter which one. I'll probably have to talk about weapons and which ones are good some other video, but anyway, ultimately, yeah, you wanna put on some mid-range weapons that are gonna do some decent damage. And that kind of stuff. I would say you want to stay away from close range weapons. You'll die too quickly if you try to get too close with those. But long range weapons can work if you perch in a high enough spot. It's not too bad either. But ultimately, I think he works best with mid-range weapons, which is why I use those. Pac-Lans are great. The Carbiners are also quite good, mid to long range-ish weapon. Good for that kind of stuff. I would stay away from the Power Mag or the Frostbite just because those tend to need a little bit closer range. The S-Class lasers work pretty good, and RPOs also work pretty well with him. Those you can do some hit and run attacks for most of those, except for the lasers. That's probably more about perching and sniping guys. The Stinger is also a good one to perch with, and you can hide behind cover a little bit as well. You'll have good survivability with the Stingers, which is nice, but again, like I said, he's not going to do a whole lot of difference to the war effort in a given match. So if you're going to use Stingers, realize that you're probably going to want to switch out your mech after the early game at some point. Trying to survive with them all game sounds good, but it probably won't make enough difference in the battle, and you'll likely lose. That's at least been my experience. He just doesn't provide enough difference in the overall battle. But if you use him to cap points early and then you know, move on to someone else after that, he can work well. So we're going to jump into a match. Excuse me. I'm going to try to cap a couple points, like I said, and then we'll see how well we do just helping out our teammates with the Lancer. All right, decent map for this. So I'm going to go this way since that guy's a bit slower and see if I can cap this point and get there pretty quickly. I also like to go up to these, for this map, these rooftops work really well. It gives a lot of elevations for Lancer to do what he does best. So I'll take this point right here and then try to get on that roof and support my team in the middle. That's ultimately what my goal is going to be. Look at that guy trying to shoot me from way back there. That's what I was kind of talking about. You get long enough distance, they're going to have a hard time hitting you. So I'm glad that they're wasting a few bullets on me. They clip me a little, but not much. So right here, it's going to be hard for me to get great shots on people. For them to get shots on me. So this is a good spot for me to be in and support my teammate there in the middle. But it's one where I'm probably not going to do more than add support fire. I'm not going to be a kill machine with this and do a whole lot. So I'm going to help this brick house over here get this spot from this guy, Mr. Rochambeau. He's trying to shoot me and instead gets destroyed by brick house. So that was a good support element. He wasted his fire on me and the brick house got the win. And we'll see how we do trying to take this guy out. Oh, he did some good damage to me. That was probably not a great idea because he didn't have anyone else to focus on but me. So it left me pretty open to getting attacked. But as you can see, our guys have the side, or most of the sides here. We're doing pretty well. We're not, straight up doing amazing and winning this match, but we have the lead. It's just a close lead right now, so we'll see how well we do here. Got some good shots on Mr. Rochambeau again because I was able to be sneaky about it, but ultimately my guy is not going to do super well. So what I'm going to do now is drop into this because I want to switch out my mech, knew I was going to get shot, but I really need to switch out my mech and provide something else to help the rest of my team out. That's kind of what I mean. There's going to be a certain point where you have to give up that spot and start working in more important stuff for your team to really benefit from. That was my goal there, just to switch out and support the rest of my team. So we really need to get into this center point and cap this. Our lead is very small, so let's see if we can keep that lead, provide something better for the rest of the team. Right now, we're just barely holding on to this victory, and they're going to come back. So let me get my shield up, and I'll go in here and really cause some havoc. So they got all their guys right in the center right now, though, so it's going to be problematic for me to do much. Hopefully I can use this guy's benefit. Keep those guys up. I didn't get too much. Good, we're clearing them out.
You have 2 minutes remaining.
Alright, finally we're getting the spot back. Hopefully that can make the difference. Right now they have a small lead on us. One that we might be able to make up the difference on, but right now, yeah, they got the lead. So that's not good. Catch that back up. Got a guy who's also taking this point from us. Multiple points, yikes. Alright, so this is going to get tricky pretty quickly here. But, a good match overall. Pretty close on both sides. We got a little bit of a lead, but not a whole lot. So we're going to see what we come up with here against our enemies. We got one guy who's just kind of hanging out in the spot. Ooh, he was hanging out over here. Now he's not, so that means we can take it. While he tries to... I think he's probably just going to take the other spot, or try to. We'll
Holding position.
He does.
There is 1 minute left.
Fortunately for me, that guy has a more close-range weapon, so I really benefit from my weapon, and they don't nearly as much. Okay. So we're going to try and get into the center point. We got the lead here. I think we're going to win this. Yes.
You have won the match.
All right, so you kind of saw what I meant there. As you can see, I didn't really get a whole lot of kills, and I didn't really support my team hugely. I probably stayed on Lancer a little bit too long because it really didn't provide the team, I think, enough support to get us the, that much of a win or to get me an MVP spot. However, it did allow us to take the win. It was just a close battle. So I would say, with the Lancer, you want to try to cap a couple points, support a little, and then either die or switch out to another mech pretty soon because, he's not going to support you for the whole game at least from my experience. You're going to want somebody that's a little heavy hitting and who can support your team better. At least that's how I see him and how I use him. If you guys have certain strategies that work for you and he's a killing machine, certainly share them, comment below, and if there's anything that you want to see, let me know, and we'll check it out. We'll make a video on it. All right, hope to see you all on the battlefield.